Welcome back, guys, for Series 2 here of Group F at the World Championship Series Europe, round of 32, as we have our PvP about to begin, but we already know one player going through. It's 4GG into that winner's match.
Congratulations to 4GG, but who will he play? One of our next two competitors. Two players, as we talked about a little bit before the break, have played against each other a lot. It is, of course, MaNa versus BlinG. First up, BlinG, who is the UK representative. God save the Queen. He's doing it for his queen and country tonight. And that flag is glorious up there. I don't get to see it very often. But BlinG is the most successful British StarCraft 2 player that we've had within the WCS. He's really started to make a name for himself over the last couple of seasons, especially with his mum. And he's around a 16 finish that he got earlier on this year. Yeah. But he's around a 32-ish player. The most of the time he's played here, he's played 4 times. 3 of them were around a 32, and the other one was the round of 16. Tonight's going to be a difficult night for him. He's been very quiet, as it can see. You can actually see on the point there. He's been very quiet over. Yeah, you actually see that. I may have wrote that myself, but you can see it up there. There's definitely question marks surrounding his form. What type of player is he going to be coming in today? Because the player he's going up against, MaNa. Oh boy, this guy's been around for a long time, and I still can't believe it. Still only been 20 years old. I'm actually still blows my mind to think about it. Been playing StarCraft, every StarCraft since the age of 13. He's a veteran despite being 20 years old. But this guy knows what it takes to win. He is a StarCraft champion.
Yes, he is. And ultimately, what is interesting about MaNa is back in 2012, at the start of 2013, he was one of the hopes. He was one of the hopes of the non-Korean scene. Yeah. But then he fell off. He fell off hard, unfortunately for him. Now, he's back on the way forwards. He really is having, I think, top 8. Was it a top 8 at DreamHack or something?
Yes.
Yes, a top 8 at DreamHack, as well as appearances in Premier League as of late. Very, very important for him to kind of keep up that level.
These guys have played 3 times altogether in the WCS, twice last season, and they actually played towards the end of 2013, where BlinG denied entry for MaNa to get into Premier League in Season 3 last year. These guys have played a lot against each other, usually in favor of BlinG, though. So which way is it going to turn today? Which player goes up against 4GG? Let's find out. Let's jump into it. Let's dive in. Let's skip in. Let's walk and run into game number 1.
Hop, skip, and a jump, my friend, as we have. Spawning up to the top left-hand corner, it's our blue Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, it is MaNa. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss. Representing Dignitas, it is BlinG.
Yes, it is BlinG. Ding-ding-ding. BlinG, for some of you who are newer to StarCraft and watching today in the WCS, BlinG previously was huge when it comes to his muscle mass and body size. He was a big guy back in 2010, 2009. Was very active, would go into the gym and so on. But more interestingly, he actually used to be a Halo player, played competitive Halo. Which I've told American people before, and they just kind of laugh at anything that isn't American, so I don't know what credit that gives BlinG. And he also played Age of Empires quite a bit too, if I remember, before joining StarCraft. When he joined StarCraft, he was and I don't care that he can watch this back, you can even tell him, I don't care. He was the cheesiest little that was in StarCraft at the early days. He was, because the maps used to be so small in StarCraft, he used to be the guy who went 2 base, whatever, and killed you. His control was actually very good at the time, and his micro was very good as well, but he never played a long game, and he'd always do some form of all-in to stop you. And he slowly rose to the top of the UK scene, and, fast forward a couple of years, and here he is playing in WCS Premier League as a competitor, as a consistent Premier League player.
Yeah, he won a pro gaming search tournament that eventually won him a contract with Dignitas, and he's been there ever since. So it does show that anyone can make it.
Casted that with Total Biscuit, I think, in 2011. BlinG won the Team Dignitas Gamer Search, I think it was called, where anyone from the UK could compete.
You cast it, I played it.
Yeah, really?
Yes, I did. And I played it with a wireless keyboard because my ex-girlfriend melted my normal keyboard with a heat lamp. It was a tragic tournament. And there you go.
Very good, mate.
No, it was bad.
But MaNa, of course, is a veteran. He was one of the better foreigners in the Brood War scene, moved in StarCraft 2, and went straight towards a final at DreamHack Winter 2010, where he played against Nama and lost there to his Finnish friend and very similar named player. And he's always been one of the better Protoss players. But both of these players have opened up identical until now, where we actually see the Mothership Core and Stalker on the way for both. And actually, both players doing very similar things. The only difference is BlinG gone in with a slightly earlier scout compared to MaNa, who's thrown a pylon aggressively already. What is this for? Is he going to start? Is he going to go 3 gateway here? Is he going to go for a blink play? And that's when he's going to launch his attack. Double pylon out like this. Proxy makes a lot of sense as well.
Yes, it does. Interesting little move here by him. That probe! Oh, okay. It was redirected on its trajectory, so it's actually going up to the watchtower. But
and there's no reason for BlinG to scout here because there's this probe of MaNa's inside the main base. It's like a mind game here from MaNa.
Yeah.
By having 2 probes like this, he's BlinG says, all right, well, he hasn't proxied anything because his probe's actually in my base. I've just killed it, so whatever. This is going to be a Twilight Cancel from BlinG, which would more than likely be Blink.
Yeah, and at least MaNa during all of this has actually seen that. So
yeah.
Right now, I think with all this information, he has the upper hand, but can he execute properly?
But the problem is BlinG is on, well, actually, no. I say he's on the other side, but no, he's got a Stalker Mothership Core inside his main. So currently, he's set up to defend this.
And that Mothership Core on the left-hand side here for MaNa is scouting out any kind of proxy locations that might be going on. Yeah. This probe in the middle.
Got no idea yet. MaNa's got a lot of information.
Oh, he misses that probe just barely.
Yeah, that's going to set up a counterattack there for BlinG to go from if he manages to deal with this successfully. And he is hiding his units inside the main base because BlinG's got no idea. The Stargate could be inside the main, right? So, and this is actually very good for BlinG. He has a Photon Overcharge and 2 Stalkers. He'll take no damage from this.
I can't believe how sneaky. I can't believe how sneaky this probe has been. It's wiggled around, gotten all the way, put a pylon down, actually missed the Mothership Core as well.
Oracle comes in, and BlinG says, oh, there it is.
Oh, okay then.
1 probe. No Photon Overcharge, and that is the best part about this.
Yes.
Because he pushes it back with just simply 2 Stalkers, and now BlinG has 2 Photon Overcharges available at his disposal, which means the 3 Stalkers of his can get over to the other side, and he can start warping in aggressively to what MaNa really doesn't have a lot of. But MaNa's the one being aggressive, very surprisingly, actually.
Yeah, and right now, though, MaNa still doesn't know about the idea of counter-aggression that's fully capable because he's carried out so much.
BlinG saw the Stalkers on his natural. He knows they're there now. But he's going to have Blink, and his opponent doesn't. There's Photon Overcharge as well. There's counter pylons for Zealots, I suppose they can be for now.
Yeah, exactly.
MaNa's going to have a hard time breaking this, I think. Blink's got to, whoa, be careful.
Where's
the Photon Overcharge?
Denies one of those volleys from actually hitting that Stalker. Gets... Oh, no, he didn't even get that 1 Stalker. No. Another great blink back there by BlinG.
And Stalker count 9-7 in favor of MaNa, but does that overrule BlinG?
At least MaNa has his Photon Overcharge capability back at home as well. And looks like MaNa is just backing off because he realizes he can't do anything against BlinG here. Yeah. So counter pylon shouldn't do a huge amount with this 1 Zealot. Yeah,
it looks like BlinG isn't going to play overly aggressive here. Looks like he's just going to go and maybe clear out his natural and then take that. He puts his Zealot inside his opponent's main base here for a bit of scout and tries to get some damage on. He's going to swing around the back here. Does not see the Twilight Council.
Ooh. All right, well.
Yeah.
But this gives BlinG a good opportunity if he wants to just go for a Nexus a little bit quicker than his opponent.
Yeah, he'll probably do that. He's still going to be careful about the Oracle.
And for now, with that Immortal on the way as well here.
But BlinG takes a lead.
Yeah, and he's making another Immortal before actually expanding, so he's a little bit wary.
I mean, to be honest, he doesn't have to expand. He could put the image of expanding, then try to attack with BlinG and Immortals.
Might be the case.
But I think he is just going to expand.
I mean, that pylon up to the top right is still there. Still a good reinforcement point. MaNa probably thinks that he's cleared up the 1 pylon that was down here and that was threatening, but...
BlinG scouts 3 gateways and BlinG. So he's like, okay, cool.
Well, you're catching up. He might actually go with this. With this 3rd Immortal, like, why would you actually be making all these Immortals?
Your opponent, you don't have a robotics facility, right? So whatever BlinG sees and thinks about, he's going to be quite happy about it because he's like, all right, I have more than you, and you're trying to get BlinG. That's okay. But MaNa also spots no Nexus, and this is the worrisome part for him. He's like, God, this guy's got no Nexus. He's crazy. Why is he so crazy? And there's still a pylon just outside MaNa's base.
Yeah, this could... Oh, he's making a 4th Immortal. All right. It's going to be go time. There's no way you do this. There's no way you delay it that long.
Well, he best make something work with these 4 Immortals, because if he just expands and sits back, MaNa just naturally is going to take a bit of a nice position when it comes to his economy.
Yeah, the Oracle flies in again, has a little bit of a look around. Doesn't see the full extent of the army, at least, but he saw that there were Immortals there with Revelation previously. And that probe, still no Nexus. And he pokes in and sees no Nexus once again. He 100% has to know, and he reveals all of this as well. So BlinG is kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, because he's moving across. He knows MaNa knows he's moving across, and he knew there was no Nexus.
But can MaNa hold against 4 Immortals?
Force fields are going to have to be so on point. Absolutely. They're going to have to buy time.
I mean, he's also going to have high ground advantage here. So using that ramp's going to be quite nice.
And double photon overcharge on a Nexus that's finished at the natural.
Yeah.
So this is, again, I felt that BlinG was in a great spot before after the defense, but this is taking a little bit too long to execute. Unless he does some big damage. Oh, grabs the sentry. That's nice. It had a lot of energy there.
Nice pick up there. 1 sentry for 2 Stalkers.
That's 4 Immortals, though, that are now not being choked back too easily. The 2 Immortals actually at the back there, actually only hitting on Zealots, so not the best of trades. Photon Overcharge holding on as well. He needs to keep these sentries alive. Wants extra force fields. Nice force field there. Catches one of those Immortals on the wrong side of the force field, and MaNa capitalizes.
MaNa has another Immortal and 3 more Stalkers. I don't think he's going to be broken here.
No, I don't think so either.
Interesting choice for BlinG to try go for this.
Yeah. Oh, tries to grab an Immortal. That's a nice start, but he's taking too much damage whilst all of this is going on. The BlinG forwards. 1 more Immortal actually falls. Second one is going to go down, and he has nothing left in that push. Nothing.
No. And it's defended. So, yeah, it was definitely an interesting choice for BlinG to try to capitalize on the fact that he had more Immortals there, but there was great force fields, great high ground usage. You saw the aggressive blinks from MaNa to capitalize on that. BlinG's in a bit of a pickle here, unfortunately. He's going for a Dark Shrine and a Warp Prism. But, he's definitely behind in this game, as you can see.
And losing extra Stalkers as he tried to cut a corner. Unfortunately, was not successful with that. So any unit he loses here, I mean, this is desperation mode now with the Dark Shrine. He knows that he is behind. He just didn't do the damage he wanted to do. Good blink out of that volley, though. We'll keep that Stalker alive.
And he could lose the Warp Prism where if it moves out a bit more.
And he has to be very wary about this. How many Stalkers does he have? 6. Only 6 with 2 sentries to hold the ramp against these Stalkers at the front. Photon Overcharge, thankfully, will push that away. No reinforcing pylon here for MaNa too close. Only this one next to the thingy, but he's getting another Oracle.
Yeah, interesting. Ooh. If he squeezes it in, he'll get damage done for sure. But MaNa has just played this really well. I love his decisions. Everything he's done so far has been really good. I like the Forge and just the gases on the natural. He's just going to play a normal game. He has spotted that Warp Prism, so he should be able to stop it.
And if he draws him away, if he draws his attention towards the main, where's that Immortal going? Where's that Immortal going?
Couple of mistakes here.
Ouch. At least the Oracle got pushed away in the main base, but losing another Immortal here is just, it's unacceptable here for BlinG. He needs to find a route into this game.
Observer tracking the Warp Prism. He knows that DTs could be a possibility here, so you want to be pulling that Observer back.
Yeah,
there he is.
He didn't even see the Dark Shrine, but he knows that that's one of the only ways in. Oh, okay, so Warp Prism's going to fall. Where's the...
DTs are in, but...
Yeah, you're going to see it in just a second. So they shouldn't do... Oh, great force field as well. Good reaction time. There you go. GG. BlinG knows it's over when the Dark Templars don't do enough. And MaNa takes game number 1.
Yeah, not the most successful follow-up attack there from BlinG. And he was actually in good shape there. But the dedication to the 4 Immortals, the BlinG Stalkers, sometimes you're able to make it work. You always have those 2 choices. You can either just expand with your lead or try to win with your lead. In this case, the winning with your lead didn't work out for him too well. And MaNa takes map number 1 there.
What would you have made of it, Sean, if he'd have gone with, say, 2 Immortals instead of 4? Do you think there would have been a bit better of a window there, or...?
No, not really. No? You're still going to get trapped up by force fields. It's either proper committal or none at all. So I really think that he should have just expanded off the back of 1 Immortal to make sure he's safe, and then once the expansion's down, then keep building. Yeah. And then you're going to be in a much more solidified position. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate there. Sometimes it works, though. It really depends on... the amount of sentries your opponent has. Does he have a lot? Does he not? What's his reaction to my attack? But MaNa did everything perfectly there and was well defended. All
right. Well, on to game number 2 here. Catalina is actually going to be our second map between these two. Don't see a huge amount of it right now. Yeah. But mirror matchup, so it's kind of okay. Unless, of course, we do get some odd spawning positions and someone decides to go air, and it can be really irritating to actually chase things down. But if you're going air in this matchup anyway, really committing to air, sometimes more often than not, you would see the opponent also going for a lot of air themselves anyway.
This map is very friendly towards expansions. Well, just the way that the map is laid out, but this can be exploited because it's easier to defend the natural ramp and your main ramp from a single photon overcharge, you do see a lot of players try to go one gate expansion. But Stargate play can punish that, and Oracle, or maybe Phoenix play can work. So it isn't easy to just choose that expansion play.
All right, well, let's get into it. Game number 2 between our 2 Protoss buddies, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner in the blue, representing Team Liquid, it is MaNa. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss representing Team Dignitas, it's BlinG.
BlinG. All right. Let's see if he can get to another round of 16. He's been once before. Almost made it last season. Unfortunately, not for him. But this is definitely a fight between... I look at this group as a fight between 3 Europeans who are... You know, they've been around forever, but ideally they would have loved to have pushed the position away from 4GG to go top 2, which can still happen, but... He's definitely looking at number 1, and then they'd fight for the 2 positions themselves.
What do you think about that? Do you reckon the Protoss here have really been focusing down on their versus Terran in preparation for this group more so than the other 2 matchups, or because they have to prepare for every matchup, which is a little brutal?
Yeah, I think it would have just been overall preparation with a little specifics, but nothing drastic. I think that everyone here is hoping that the other player beats 4GG, so then it becomes easier, but. In a group like this, it is hard because you can practice specifically for everybody, which is a little bit more difficult, or you just go overall practice, which is slightly easier. It really depends individually as well, though.
Well, for now, Mr. MaNa grabbing his first gas. I have another gas going down for BlinG, but second gas gets taken for both as well, so no crazy strange deviations in terms of these gas timings just yet, as both will just transition into the opportunity to even go for tech if they do want to here. And considering the first game, I mean, we do see a lot of PvPs being drawn out very long now because of, you know, how solid people are in the earlier stages. But it's very clear here that both players are not too bothered about going aggressive early on, so maybe we'll see more of that.
I mean, MaNa cannon rush BlinG last time they played on King Sejong, so definitely not afraid to be aggressive. But BlinG is definitely a player who I would say, you know, compared to MaNa, makes more mistakes. Silly things like leaving the mothership core out of range. I think he did in the last series they played that. Immortal being Wayne pointed out. There's a lot of small mistakes that BlinG does let creep in sometimes. But I feel that MaNa is a little bit less like that.
Yeah, and overall I think BlinG is quite the humble guy. So when it comes to his gameplay, so he's always kind of... I would say almost second-guessing himself. And he's like, when you talk to him, he's like, I shouldn't let that go through, I shouldn't let that go through. But overall, I think he's very, very determined to constantly improve himself as well.
Stalker being chronobushed out here, and Mothership Core going to deny this probe any more information on what BlinG's up to. Whereas on the other side, I think it's only the Mothership Core that's being chronobushed out, and the extra resources have gone towards the Stargate here for MaNa.
Look at BlinG, though, going down to the bottom here with this probe, so might be turning the tables completely on his opponent in just a little bit.
Yeah, both playing so aggressive, and this really increases the randomness of the matchup when you play like this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not actually going to proxy anything down there, so that is not too wild. But Twilight Cancel inside the main, so similar openings here from the previous one, just not proxied. And Mothership Core of BlinG on the hunt to see if he can find that Stargate.
And actually, this probe down to the bottom right here of MaNa, who was looking around, just making sure nothing too crazy is going on, but he's not going to find anything at all. MaNa also scouting out with his Stalker is natural, and BlinG looking for a little bit of a slight opportunity with his Mothership Core.
Yeah, BlinG is the more all-round tech choice. Good defensively and aggressively. And it's just safer overall, especially when you get a Robo. BlinG Robo is very, very standard.
Yeah.
Stargate Twilight less. But the Oracle just... you almost want to build an Oracle just because of its potential and how much it could do.
Yeah, if your opponent is, say, for example, on the other side of the map, if he's warping in at a bad time, then you can actually get caught completely off guard with your pants down.
Good scout by BlinG.
Sees what he needs to see, and knows that because the Stargate isn't producing at this point, there's probably an Oracle already on its way.
And he's going to get a probe kill, 2 probe kills.
That's nice.
And a third, no, just 2, and recall, hopefully.
That was very, very close, but...
Oracle comes back, though. And because the photon overcharge obviously cannot be used now, it could get damage done. There are 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, a few workers are going to die off here. And needs to get out. Oh, very close. Does die.
That is good that he managed to get that there, BlinG. But he's thrown down 4 gateways in total. But his probe's been found.
Wow. So that probe, again, down there was so diligent about it scouting. It scouted out the entire bottom right main. It scouted out all of the little angles. So that's a great scout there by MaNa.
Yeah, he's going to try and bring that probe to his Stalkers now, but BlinG's going to go for 4 gateways. But the funny thing is, MaNa spotted the 4 gateways, and those are 4 gateways. You're basically all in because that's all you can build off these gateways. Unless you don't build anything, then weirdly expand, which is why would you get the 4 gateways anyway? But the Dark Shrine is a game ender. It's an actual game ender. And with 2 Photonova charges available, that should buy him enough time. And there's a probe out on the other side of the map here.
He's going to lose a Stalker. I mean, this is very hard to really keep this alive against the position that he's found himself in, sadly.
This is just a beautiful counter by MaNa. Sees one thing, knows what the instant victory is going to be, has chosen it. And right now, BlinG has nothing to stop it.
Has to be a bit careful about going onto that low ground with the lesser Stalker number, as there are a few more on the way. Stalker's warping in as well, but thankfully for MaNa, he didn't use any energy on his mothership core earlier, so he does have energy for 2 Photonova charges.
BlinG sees that Blink is on the way, so that he could imagine that this is only Blink, but as we can see, this is going to be such a pain. And BlinG is probably not expecting this because it's Stargate to Blink to DT, which is very uncommon.
Yeah. Stalker's at the top of this ramp. We're going to try and hold off for a second. He just wants to delay the Photonova charge as much as possible.
Yeah.
And, well, he's actually going to have to throw it down now, but those Stalkers cannot get to the back of that mineral line. They cannot see at all.
It's an instant win.
Yeah.
It's actually an instant win here. BlinG's going to feel the DT pain in a second, and we'll have to call GG. He's been completely countered.
Yeah, unless BlinG for some reason had a probe over there to try and make a robo next to that pylon, but it's so ambitious because there's just no probe there. There's
now,
the DT.
upon the DT swipe, and you hear that in your headset, you're like, whatever, man, that is GG. There's no way I could beat a DT.
All right, fast and furious here already in day number 6 for WCS Europe round of 32 as MaNa advances on to play against 4GG in the winners.
Yeah, this is going to be a good series, actually, because you look at it on paper, or you look at it just as like, okay, 4GG versus MaNa. This definitely should be 4GG favored. He's a killer. But head-to-head, it's actually in favor of MaNa, very surprisingly here. And MaNa, historically in StarCraft 2, has always had, you know, really good results, despite having different waves of bad and good results versus Terrans. Remember the times that he went and played in the GSL. He won multiple games versus Korean Terrans. He's definitely good in this matchup, and with a good head-to-head against 4GG, MaNa could be looking at first place.
Yes, he could, as that would be great for MaNa. That would be a really nice start going into Season 3 for him. He is very much outside the point ranges for for BlizzCon hopes, but for 4GG, that is very, very important because he's sitting at 25 right now.
25, but can he rise to the round of 16, which can offer more points, of course, with a chance to play for a round of 8 and above? Last season, 4GG's top 4. Where is he going to end this season, though?
All right, join us after the break when we actually have our losers match to start things off in game number 3 between Bly and BlinG.